Today we're making gluten-free vegan chocolate chip cookies that you won't even believe they're gluten-free and vegan because they're so fabulous. So, of course, the main ingredient is almond flour. This is my large Mama Jamma 5-pound bag of JK Gourmet blanched almond flour. Amazing, delicious stuff. But if you don't order that online and you can't find it, then use the next best thing. So, when I pack my almond flour, you want to pack it pretty firm. And so I've already measured 1 1/4 cup of almond flour, and I pack it down pretty good. It doesn't have to be insanely like brown sugar style, but about a pretty good packed in there. And you don't have to use your finger if you're being all professional, but I'm just going to eat these and I'll touch my food if I want to. So I've got 1 1/4 cup of almond flour here, and this is a new recipe I'm trying, or it's a original recipe by Elena's Pantry, but I'm making my own with oats and maple syrup. So I'm not really sure how many oats to have, but these are gluten-free organic oats. Oats have gluten. Did you learn something new? So be sure to read your labels just in case that's important to you. We're just going to kind of visually go with this here. That's just a 1/4 cup. I think I'm going to do a 1/2 cup. And we're going to look at that in a minute. So I've got 1 1/4 cup of almond flour, 1 cup of oats. This is a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then you need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, I'm going to get my whisk. Don't mind the beets cooking in the background. We're having a very healthy dinner tonight. I'm just going to mix that up real nice. If you have vanilla, that's also really yummy. I have Madagascar bourbon vanilla powder, but if you have a liquid, that's totally okay too. And you want to use a teaspoon. So don't mind me, it's at the bottom of the container. It's a little old and powdery. It's a little gross, but that's just what happens to powders. Well, it's going to be just a second. Zoom in on that quality goodness batter there. It's a noisy kitchen, isn't it? All the best cooks are noisy and messy. Alright. Alright. You've got your vanilla in, and then chocolate chips. These are Sunspire organic 65% cacao chocolate chips. These are one of the few that don't have soy. So if that's an issue for you, want to read closely. Most chocolate has soy. Now it's made in a facility that does process dairy and soy. This is just too difficult. I'm going to have to break down somewhere. Your next best option is Enjoy Life chocolate chips. They don't use any allergen, so that's a nice option. But for now, there's these. I'm going to do a 1/4 plus a little extra because, hey, who doesn't like chocolate? You can be more generous if you're totally all about the chocolate, but, and you could use a 1/3 of a cup if you want to be more specific measuring, but I'm a big fan of not doing dishes, so as you can see, I'm limited utensils right now. So if you were doing this recipe and you were going to use agave, then you would want to use a 1/2 cup of agave. Since maple syrup is pretty sweet, I am thinking, so we're going to see what a 1/4 tastes like. This is the organic grade A maple syrup, maple oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. That's the biz. I almost forgot one more thing. The oil. This recipe doesn't use eggs, but it does use grapeseed oil. You're welcome to use coconut oil. You even could use canola oil, but grapeseed oil just has a nice smooth flavor. And I am doing a little less than a 1/4 of a cup, but it usually uses about a 1/4 of a cup with the agave. And so yeah, I'm probably going to add a little bit more, and that's okay. This is a new recipe, and that's all the fun in it. Now I'm just stirring it nice together, and I'm going to switch, unfortunately, to another utensil because this may not have been the best idea, and that's okay, because sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. And this is real life, people. It ain't perfect. So as you can see, it's a little dry, but I'm afraid I don't want it to get too sweet since this maple syrup is nice and sweet. So I need to do quality control. I think I'm going to add in a little bit, splash more oil to complete off that 1/4 of a cup. And a little more maple syrup, actually. So in the end, I'm going to repeat these ingredients for you, since I'm kind of going with the flow here and maybe that's not your style. So I'm going to tell you, in this lovely concoction here, you've got 1 1/4 cup almond flour, 1/2 cup of oats of your choice, whether that be gluten-free or regular, a heaping 1/4 to 1/3 cup of chocolate chips or more if it floats your boat, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Then I used a slightly overflowing 1/4 cup of grapeseed oil and a slightly overflowing 1/4 cup of maple syrup, or 1/3 cup. And you can see it's a little more wet now, but you don't want it to be runny. Cookies don't need to be runny. Final taste test. Aren't you jealous? So if you want to get perfect here, you can get a scoop. Otherwise, you just want to take a nice handful and make a little patty about that size. Plop it on your pan, which I conveniently don't have ready yet because I just got it so excited to make this video, you guys. It's my first video. Then plop that on a pan, bake it in the oven at 350, 7 to 10 minutes. Make sure you check it so you don't burn the bottoms. I've done that before. And then enjoy. Thank you. And we are back, people. This is the final product. These are the delicious cookies that I worked so hard on. But really, that video, the amount of time those cookies took, these cookies take less than 20 minutes. And if you look real closely there, can you see that? That's walnut. Can you believe I forgot that? I forgot to put in walnuts. So if you're a big fan of nuts, walnuts, pecans, throw in a 1/4 cup. Add another tablespoon or 2 of oil to get the right balance between wet and dry ingredients. And bake them 10 or so minutes. Enjoy these fabulous bad boys. I wish you could taste it for yourself. You know when people on TV taste your food and you wonder, do they really like the food they just made? Did they put in too much salt? Or are they lying to me? Does that really taste good? I'm not lying to you. I wish I could share them. So go make my cookies. Have a glass of wine. Be healthy. Be delicious. Be gluten-free. Be vegan if it suits your fancy. And I just want to say promotion. Motion Vineyards. Nice red wine. Hillsburg, California. Oatmeal, maple, chocolate chip walnut cookies by Eat It Up Buttercup.